Dear friends, our last talk was about the crisis between India and China over the border. The question we had discussed was whether India could have acted better diplomatically, militarily, and also in communicating with the India's own public and the rest of the world. Now, that was on the 18th of June. On the 19th, we had the all-party conference chaired by the Prime Minister. It was a very good idea to have had that conference, though I should add that it could have been held much earlier. After all, the media started reporting the troubles at the border in the first week of May. Well, that apart, I also want to make one more comment about the all-party conference, that it was not exactly interactive. Of course, when it is virtual, it's not easy to have a proper interactive discussion, but it could have been made more interactive, because what happened was that the opposition, well, not all of them, but one or two of them asked questions and responses were given, but there were no follow-up questions. That's why I said it was not interactive. At the end of it, the Prime Minister made a statement, and he said that A, there was no intrusion into Indian territory, B, that no Indian military post has been taken over. Now, frankly, I was astonished because if there was no intrusion, what was all this fuss about? Why did we have to talk to the Chinese at the military level and at the diplomatic level? So, obviously, the Prime Minister's first statement is wrong. As regards the second statement, that also is not correct, because we do not put up a military post every 100 meters. So maybe none of our military posts has been taken over. But since we have been stopped from patrolling where we used to patrol, it follows that the Chinese have intruded into our territory. I wish the Prime Minister had not made this statement, and the subsequent clarification from the PMO have not helped much. The ideal thing would be for the Prime Minister to come out with another statement saying that he did not mean that there was no intrusion. Will he do that? Frankly, I do not know. Should he do that? Yes. Now, one more thing I want to say about what has happened, and that is that the opposition had asked the question whether the 20 Indian soldiers who were killed in a brutal manner by the Chinese, were they armed? And the government again came out with clarifications which only confused the listeners. But now, yesterday, the defense minister had a meeting and with the service chiefs, and the army has been given full freedom, including use of firearms when necessary. This is a welcome development. But I want to make an observation. It is clear that earlier the army did not have full freedom. The full freedom is being given only now. Okay. Now, I want to say a word about the media commentary. For example, the Indian Express today has carried a commentary. I was astonished. I was, flabbergasted. It says that India can mobilize 622 million people, fit for military service, whereas China can mobilize 752. Indian Army is 1.4 lakhs, whereas Chinese is 2.1 lakh. India has 538 combat aircraft, and China has 1,200, and so on and so forth. In fact, an American think tank even has mentioned the number of nuclear missiles each country can send to the other. This sort of talk is utterly irresponsible. What is required is a resolution, and for that resolution to happen, India should stand firm on the ground. And once India stands firm, let me explain. When China makes an intrusion at point A, India should do two things. Resist that intrusion at A and choose point B, which should have been previously chosen, where India has local advantage, and make a counter intrusion. So when we have intrusions at points A, B, C, D, E and F, well, then China will be prepared to sit down and talk, and then we can truthfully say that the two sides have mutually agreed to have mutual disengagement and withdrawals. Now comes a question. Some commentators have said that India can win a war over China. Some have said India cannot win and all that. I think it's better to be realistic. My view is that if there is an all-out war between India and China, India cannot prevail unless India gets external help, and the only external help I can think of is United States. By that I don't mean boots on the ground, but air action. But it's absolutely, what shall I say, unnecessary and irresponsible to think of such scenarios right now. Right now, our attention should be focused on bringing this crisis to a resolution, and I'm sure it can be done. Thank you for listening. We may have to come back to this once again.